I mean, listen, there's a couple of weird things that happen in certain cultures around the world, right? I mean, everyone has their own belief system overall, and it is what it is. But then some individuals, like, let's say, sacrificing animals, okay, for, I don't know, juju. Let's call it that, guys, right? And the reason why I know this in so much detail is because I had one time dealt with a woman many, many years ago, like decades ago, guys, right? She was Haitian. And she definitely believed in voodoo. Okay, that was why it didn't work. Okay, she liked to cook everything with like red sauce, and if you guys know, you know. All right. Okay, careful of the red sauce specifically from certain regions, because some women like spreading their monthly inside the sauce. Let's say. All right, to make sure they keep that man. All right, that's an oddity. that's an absolute oddity. Careful of the red sauce, guys. Okay, that's just what I'm going to go ahead and point out, specifically when it comes to like the concept of like sacrificing animals and voodoo and all of that stuff, guys. But apparently, there's some craziness going on in Ohio. They're sick of it. Apparently, that is where the overwhelming majority of Kamala's Haitian migrants went. But all right, and apparently they're just going into parks and just like, oh, that's a duck. Let me get that. All right. So that's the thing. But guys, we're here, guys. Name of the video is Haitian migrants accused of eating park ducks. Say suggestion via Discord. All right. I'm just mentally preparing myself for what is to come here, guys. But let's go ahead and check this out immediately.
I'm done with what I'm seeing. It is so unsafe in my neighborhood anymore. I have the homeless that were trying to camp out, and I have made concessions with them, and I try to help them the best I can to keep them from trying to squat on my property. But it is so unsafe. I have men that cannot speak English in my front yard screaming at me, throwing mattresses in my front yard, throwing trash in my front yard.
What?
And I can't. Look at me. I weigh 95 pounds. I couldn't defend myself if I
No, you can't.
Had to. My husband is elderly, and last night, after living in this home for 45 years, he said, Noelle, guess what? It's time to pack up and move.
Right.
He said, we can't do this anymore. He said, it's killing both of us mentally.
Right.
I don't understand what you expect of us as citizens.
Bro, and I'm sure the property value went down all the way to the ground because if that property comes up for sale, all right, if it comes up for sale, people are going to hit that street view. They're going to say, oh, this is nice. Realize that was taken 4 years ago. Then when they go to actually tour the house, they're going to see what the neighborhood has turned out to be. And then they're going to be like, yeah, no chance. I'm not buying here. This is a bad investment, right? All that's going to happen in your area specifically is property demise.
I mean, I understand they're here under temporary protected status and you're protecting them. And I understand that our city services are overwhelmed and understaffed, but who's protecting us? If we're protecting them, who's protecting me?
No one.
I want out of this town. I am sorry. Mm-hmm. Please give me a reason to stay.
You guys are just...
They have no reason for you to stay, other than your tax dollars that they're going to then move over to people that will actually most likely support them in the polls eventually, potentially, guys, right? Specifically that country, yeah, most likely. And that's what's happening here, guys.
Sitting up there in Susa, like I really challenge you guys to get out here and do something. These Haitians are running into trash cans. They're running into buildings. They're running into... they flipping cars in the middle of the street.
Right.
And I don't know how, like, y'all can be comfortable with this. Like, I don't know, like, who's getting paid from it. I feel like...
Follow the money.
I honestly feel like someone's getting paid from it in the background. You got a bunch of people on a bus getting dropped off at a gas station to come down here. I know a single mom that FaceTimed me this morning at the welfare office that really need something. And it's nothing but immigrants over there. They're in the park grabbing up ducks by their neck and cutting their head off and walking off with them and eating them and it's going to get bigger and it's only going to get worse. And y'all sitting up there in these chairs, all y'all need to get out here and do something. Y'all making hundreds of thousands of dollars. Y'all need to put on a t-shirt and some Crocs, and then y'all need to come out here in these streets and y'all need to go out here and I'm out here before the police is.
Right.
Like, y'all
They're not coming out there at all. They're comfortable where they are. Why would they? Right? They're getting paid, obviously, in proximity to what's actually happening. Right? Your best bet is to just completely leave. And then when they realize that your entire area is now full of, migrants that have come, illicitly through the border, guys, right? You'll start to realize instantly one thing: no one is there to pay your taxes anymore. Okay. So if you can leave, I guess leave, but hopefully you don't specifically own there.
need to do something, bro. Y'all really got to stand on business. Y'all getting paid all this money just to wear a suit and sit in a chair. I think it's crazy, bro. That's where they come from, and that's what they do. That's their country. I don't know what they got going on over there, but they can't do that over here. And if y'all just getting paid from it and then y'all ain't doing nothing about it, I think that's super weird, bro. Y'all got to stand on business. Y'all got to really, step up. It's lame, bro.
But the thing is, guys, if you actually have been to the country of Haiti or you've seen anything regarding Haiti, you'll start to realize that not all of Haiti, keep this in mind here, like the places that are actually secured with high fences and armed guards at the front, those are good generally. But the rest of it, bro, no, guys, no. Now, keep this in mind, I may be biased, because, my lineage comes from the country that borders it. And that could be, influencing my overall negative opinion of that specific country, guys, right? But I'm letting you guys know what he's explaining is basically what Haiti looks like on the inside of it. But,
for real.
Thank you for your comments.
Thank you.
Driving around Springfield, I was looking at the giant holes in some of our buildings. I noticed all of the old familiar spots bearing new signs in an unfamiliar language.
Okay.
I watched as groups of strangers walked around the city like lost tourists, and it was like a punch in the gut. A terrible sadness came over me, and I began to cry. I immediately started to think back to when I was little, walking from my grandma's house on South Fountain through downtown and all the way to Snyder Park. I feel like we have been invaded by some sort of pest. I'm angry that my friends and family are packing up and moving away. I'm angry that foreigners are using up the resources that were set up for the Americans that reside here. I'm angry that another country's flag was being flown in our city. I'm angry when I see our businesses and recreational areas littered with garbage left by people that do not know or understand our laws and culture and are making no attempt to learn about them.
That's valid.
And let me be clear, this is not about race. This is about people being given the privilege of coming here from another country and having no respect for our people, our land, or our life's work.
Bro, I'm going to be honest. I feel exactly the same at certain points of what you said here. Like, every time I see, an Irish flag in front of someone's house, I'm like, you're American. You're in America. It's it's weird. I don't know, going to other places where you see, the Italian flag also. It's like, we're in America. Relax. Right? This flag. Behind me, okay? America, guys, come on.
People living their life here the way they did in Haiti. Angry, stealing, polluting, living in filth, and acting like animals. These are not civilized people. Opening containers in our grocery stores, helping themselves to what's inside, and throwing the rest...
Okay, wait a second. All right, listen, I like the no-holds-barred nature of her words, at least, guys, but words are powerful, let's say. Now, are they civilized? Listen, just be fully aware here. Culture is different around the world. Now, if you come from a culture that is somewhat lawless at times, then, yeah, in the standard of Western civilization, if we're going to put that as the metric, then, yeah, no. I get what you're saying completely. I'm just saying, the wording is a little...
Rest onto the shelves and floors. Pulling off of the highway to publicly clean and gut the roadkill lying there in front of anyone that passes by. Stealing animals from farmers and leaving their severed heads at the side of an old school where children play. Relieving themselves in public.
Right.
Making some barbaric stew out of the birds that live in our park. This is insanity, and it has to stop.
Barbaric?
What will become of Springfield? Where will we be in 5 years? The thought terrifies me.
There have been first-hand reports of wrong-way drivers on one-way streets, drivers ignoring stop signs, and red lights and other traffic issues. There is the impact on businesses having to deal with language, cultural differences. There is the strain on public resources both governmental and private services, including health.
I'm taking my cart down the grocery aisle, and I have 3 immigrants strapped across the aisle. Seen me coming, would not budge, wouldn't even, and I said, excuse
It's the
me.
culture. They don't understand the
Maybe
culture.
they didn't understand what I was saying.
No, they just didn't care, right? They were like, why is this woman talking to me? I'm telling you that's what happened. That's exactly what happened. Again, culture.
I'm sure they understood that I was trying to get through that aisle.
And that's kind of the problem.
So I have
think.
no recourse now but to bust through it. I'm not afraid to do so.
Should-
You know,
exactly.
I would like to see
Because most likely that would have been normal in that instance in their country.
them have some common respect, some common decency.
Okay.
Do not try to bully your way through Springfield, Ohio. It's not going to work out well.
Having thousands of new immigrant neighbors move into our city during the past few years has been stressful and overwhelming, but I am hopeful for a shared future with them. Speaking from personal experience, our Haitian neighbors and other newcomers I have met have been kind, grateful, hardworking people who want to play a positive role in our community. They are students, employees, business owners, and consumers who are contributing to our city.
I mean, here's the thing. Guys, when it comes to like brand new cultures, I guess populating an area, there is a benefit to that, right? There is a benefit in understanding that your worldview may not be the only worldview. That's a great thing, end of the day, right? But I think because these cultures, like American culture and Haitian culture, specifically the ones who have fled, right? And from the region where they fled from, it is very different. Very, very different. And I'm not even sure that the individuals that fled knew how actually different things actually were, guys. I'm not even sure. And that's a super interesting thing. Now, how is it that how can we, for example, find a way to merge cultures, right? Obviously, if you've been there, you don't really have to technically do much, right? The ones who just recently came should be at least looking to kind of acclimate to the ongoing culture that actually surrounds it, right? But I don't know about the ducks, guys. I mean, we do eat duck in this country. There are many cultures who eat duck in this country, right? But I'm not sure we go hunting for them in our parks, though. So that's a little troubling. I'm also trying to understand the statement that the woman made earlier regarding roadkill. Also, why are we gutting roadkill, guys? What are we doing with that nasty meat, bro? It's been sitting out in the hot sun. You gonna eat that? What are you gonna do with that? What are you gonna do with that? Right? And here's the thing: if they're eating it, okay, but if they're sacrificing it, guys, that's going to be the main moral issue, specifically in the United States of America. Guys, we treat animals better than we generally treat people, right? So that would like be enough to enrage many, many, many people. And the reason why they're sacrificing animals, if that's the case, it would be to some random deity in the voodoo or hoodoo faith, guys. That's what that is. But does that make it better in the eyes of the average American? Not at all. It doesn't. That's what I'm saying, guys. The people who fled and came here, their culture is so drastically different. Like, so drastically different. I don't know what to do, guys. Right? It's too late. I mean, they themselves are literally refugees, right? I would definitely say that refugees, specifically, if that's the case. Not referring to the ones who came through the southern border. Not talking about these individuals. But I'm almost positive they have like refugee status, the majority of them. And if that's the case, they should have definitely been more so spread out. So they probably couldn't get a gigantic community, and that means that they would have been forced to kind of assimilate to the region's culture more so. Like, keep your culture, do your thing, right? But if you start realizing that all of the ducks are leaving the ponds because they're being taken for soup, that's That's a wild one. And the woman called it a barbaric soup. It's not barbaric. It's just ridiculous how they're getting it. Because again, do they know that they can't go to the? Probably not, because most likely if they saw a duck, right, in Haiti, they could take it. Most likely. Right? Again, they just don't understand the culture. That's what it seems to be, at least, guys. But all right, listen, you guys all have an absolutely amazing day. Enjoy your day thoroughly, guys. Before we go. Are you guys subscribed to the other channels? Logical Movie Reviews with Mr. L. Boyd along with Mr. L. Boyd Music. Both are found in the description. Check it out.